What is going on, Swoopers? Welcome back to another episode of Swoop Luke. In this episode, we'll be doing a quick preview on the Collingwood-Carlton game that's coming up tomorrow. So let's just do it. So before we get into it, of course, follow me on all my social media accounts. I'll be popping up down below: Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Obviously, Instagram and Twitter, posting all the time the best content you'll see, or the best Collingwood content you'll see outside of the Collingwood Football Club. I feel personally biased, but we did hit 2,000 subs. That is insane. That is absolutely insane, and I love every single one of you. So I will figure out how I'm going to get everyone's name to go into the running for the draw. But that'll be soon, I promise. That'll be before the season ends anyway. It'll be great. Again, thank you so much for the support. Let's get into this preview. So the other day I had Terry from Blue Abroad jump on a Squawk with Swoop. We kind of previewed the game there, so I'm not going to really get into it a lot that I didn't get into there. It's just going to be a quick one. It's a huge game. It's a huge game because when isn't it a huge game when we verse Carlton? Carlton need to win to keep their slim final chances alive. We need to win to just stick it up, Carlton. You know what I mean? We really need to just land one on them for lack of a better term and a better action. Look, leading up to this game, we've done okay in the last 5 weeks. So in the last 5 weeks, we've got 3 wins, 2 losses. 2 losses coming from the St Kilda game by 9 points, and that Fremantle game by 12 points or whatever it was. Those 2 games, it was the last quarter efforts that kind of pegged the margin back a little bit, but then you got the Melbourne game before that, the Adelaide game before that. But what we're going to focus on for this video is that Richmond game, and we'll talk a little bit about it later. On Carlton's end, they've got 2 wins from their last 5 games. Their last win was against Fremantle, 16 points. They beat Adelaide by 10 points. They got done by the Giants, the Eagles, and Geelong last week, where they kicked 5 goals, 17 or something ridiculous like that. So very inaccurate Carlton side. But Carlton, no matter where they're playing us on the ladder, they always come into form. Like, look at that round 2 game. It took us up until 3/4 time in that last quarter to really pull away from them, because there are glimpses of a good Carlton side, and I know that that's what we're going to get tomorrow. So the last time we played them was that round 2 game. Carlton 85, Collingwood 106. Like I said, we waited until that last quarter to kind of pull through. Jordan DeGoey kicked 4 goals. Mackay kicked 4 goals. Gibbons 3. Mychek kicked 3. Jamie Elliott had that injury that saw him go out for like 9 weeks. But before that, he kicked 2. So Jamie Elliott's going to be really important in this game. That really changed the tides when Elliott went down. We were just too tall in the forward line. We still ended up winning. Darcy Moore was playing that game, played one of his best games. That intercept marker and stuff like that. We're going to miss him as well. But we're a very different side from round 2 that we are now, obviously. And so are Carlton. Carlton were full steam ahead, and they put up that show in round 2. So hopefully that stings them a little bit going into tomorrow's game. So there were a few key areas and a few key matchups that I want to just quickly touch on. Jordan Roughead and Harry Mackay. That's what the lineup looks like. It's going to be insane. If Darcy Moore got 4 kicked on him when he was playing on Mackay in round 2, it's kind of scary to think what Roughead will do. And I love Roughead. I think, we are where we are because of him, because of the acquisition of Roughead. But I think he might be, what he does when he plays against Kennedy and stuff, he might be a little bit too slow for a young and agile Mackay. I still don't think Mackay kicks more than 3 goals. Braden Maynard will give him a chop out. Jack Madgen could be flying over the top to give him a chop out, but the one-on-one will be Roughead. If it's just one-on-one, no sort of leading things, I know that's hard for a forward, but if there's no sort of leading, I think Roughead has his measure. But if Mackay gets on a bit of a run, I don't think that Roughead will be able to keep up with him. Another area that I really wanted to look at was our forward line. So Now we've got Elliott back. We got Myercheck. We got Darcy Cameron in there as well. Brodie Grundy when he goes there. Josh Thompson's on fire. Will Hoskin Elliott. Can their backline, can Carlton's backline keep up with us? One guy, Lockie Plowman, he's probably going to play on Jamie Elliott. You look at that Blue Abroad video that I talked with him about. Elliott could probably kick 6 against Plowman. Not a very good backman, but he provides in other areas. Wiedering as well. You think Wiedering would go to Myercheck maybe. Myercheck usually gets the third best defender. So now, if you have Wiedering on Myercheck, you can kind of use Myercheck. How I would do it is as a dummy. He hasn't kicked a lot of goals recently. I think last week he kicked 1 goal 4. If you have him as a dummy leading forward, you take Wiedering right out of the contest. You have Jamie Elliott, you have Darcy Cameron, and all these little crummers around him, Trent Bianca or whatnot, still side on him. And I think that will go a long way into winning this game. Another guy we've got to look out for is Sam Walsh. Obviously, not much to say about him. He's an absolute jet. Does Jack Crisp go to him? Do we see a De Goey and Walsh line up against each other for 1 centre bounce or something like that? No Cripps as well. A Carlton-less Cripps is more scary than a Cripps-led Carlton. A Cripps-led Carlton. Because, and some guys were saying it on Twitter as well, Cripps tries to do everything on his own and will Carlton over the line. Now they have to share the load. Now they can all, step up and prove that they can win without Cripps. So Sam Walsh is going to be a big part of that. But a big part of our sort of structure is Jordan De Goey. He's going to be playing more midfield time that we've seen in the last couple of weeks. He will pinch it forward. He might kick 2 goals, but it'll be about 80%, 20% mainly in the midfield, which you absolutely love to see. My big call and prediction, like I said, Mackay won't kick more than 3 goals. Jamie Elliott will kick 5 goals. Collingwood would win by 22 points. Terry said it's going to be a shootout. Look, I hope it's not a high-scoring game. I hope, but I guess if I've got Elliott at 5 goals, it's going to be a high-scoring game regardless. They'd probably sit around last one was 85 to 106. So, look, we might see another 100-point or over 100-point score from the Pies if we can get going. If we can get that high running game that we saw against Richmond. So, final thoughts is, like I just said, if we can get that high-running, fast game that we saw against Richmond, especially in that last quarter, but we were doing it throughout that quarter, high pressure. Carlton are ranked 16th for tackles, so they can't get a tackle in. There's only 18 teams in the game. Carlton can't get a tackle in. So, if we can play keepings off, keep the ball off them, and go when we can go, that handballing, as long as we don't over-handball, we will win this game. We just need to play with that instinct, and a fast start will really help. If we can kick 4 or 5 goals in that first quarter, it's going to do a lot for us going forward. Pressure on Carlton. My septum ring was always different. Pressure on Carlton as well. 22 points. That's what I've got us as. It's going to be interesting. But if you've made it to this far into the video, thank you so much. Remember, on Blue Abroad's channel, I'm doing a watch along with Pommy tomorrow. I'll post it up on my Instagram and stuff like that. It's going to be fun. It's going to be that stream out. Maybe we'll get some people on as well while we're watching. It's going to be huge. So make sure you definitely tune in to that. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. And until next time, double shackers. I'll swoop you later.
Ooh la la.